Hey everybody! I was very impressed with the quiz scores for the homework scores. It says quiz, but it's a homework. And yeah, the scores are really good, so I'm not going to spend too much time going through it. I will do one of these comparative advantage problems just for those few that were not quite sure on how it works. And I'm going to pick the one that the class did worst on, which I think was this one. As you know, there are many questions that had this setup, and we want to find out here, basically we need to find out the opportunity cost of the goods for both countries. So let's do the opportunity cost of, let's see here, well, for both goods. So let's do the opportunity cost of shoes. All right, so for India, we know that for India they could produce 2 shoes, or they could produce 5 clothing. So one way to do this is to write that out. 2 shoes equals 5 clothing. And then if I want to find out the opportunity cost of either good, I make that 1. So for example, if I want to find out the opportunity cost of shoes, 1 shoe, divide 2 shoes by 2 and 5 clothing by 2, and I get 1s, 1 shoe, equals 5 over 2, which is 2.5 clothings. So the opportunity cost, this is for India, the opportunity cost of 1 shoe is 2.5 clothing. They sacrifice 2.5 cloth to get 1 shoe. Now let's do the same thing for China. And we have 3s equals 12c, right? Those are 2 options. Those are the 2 extremes. So if I divide both by 3, I find out that for China, 1s equals 4 clothing. So, based on that, I've now figured out that India has a lower opportunity cost for producing shoes. They sacrifice 2.5 clothing, and China sacrifices 4 clothing. All right, so India has the comparative advantage in shoes, and that by definition means that China will have the comparative advantage in the other good, which is cloth. You can have an absolute advantage in both goods, as China does here, but you can't have a comparative advantage in both goods. So, so then if they're going to trade according to comparative advantage, that means India would specialize in shoes, and China would specialize in cloth. And so this question asks about India, I think specifically. Yeah, India would. All right, so we're told now they're going to trade 3 cloth for 1 pair of shoes. All right, so if India specializes in shoes, they're going to be here. They're going to produce 2 shoes, no clothing. They're going to trade away 1 shoe and get 3 cloth. So they're going to end up here like around the A. They're going to be outside of their initial production possibilities frontier. They gain from trade, and of course, so does China. And so they end up with 1 clothing and 2 shoes. Sorry, one shoes and 3 clothing. They trade away 1, so they have 1 left, and they get, so that's the right answer. All right, so again, that was the lowest one. Everyone got 90%. Every question was 90% or more. So you guys, I think you guys got it. And so, of course, the quiz coming up, which opens on Sunday and closes Monday, is not solely focused on comparative advantage, even though the homework was heavily weighted toward that. It's going to be broader. It will, of course, include questions on comparative advantage, but you should reread the modules and the book and stuff and be ready for a broader range of questions. And as you know, or I just want to remind you that there are going to be some graphs used on the quiz, and they are in the last couple pages of the syllabus. Specifically, this is one of them, and this is the last page of the syllabus, I think. So that's where they are. So be sure to have those printed out and handy. You may even want to look at them for a little bit before the quiz. And once you start the quiz, you have 80 minutes. There's only 30 questions, so I think time shouldn't be a factor. This is probably the easiest set of material, so we're easing into the stuff, but don't get tricked into thinking it's going to be this easy throughout. It's actually going to get progressively more difficult and challenging, and I think more interesting. So let's get out to a good start here, get a really good quiz score here, and we'll carry on. All right? Thank you very much. I gotta finish this. Okay, bye-bye.